Working smart is working hard in an efficient manner.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see.
When it's time to work with metal, to use the hacksaw, to pound on some things, to bend some things, it is a really handy tool to have. I have picked this spot to put it. It doesn't get in the way of the miter saw or the routers or even the table saw. When I've got a lot of work to do with it, then I can mount it on the smart bench over here, but I don't want it here all the time because I'm going back and forth, and having anything on my bench that kind of sticks out or gets in my way it just breaks the workflow. In that time frame when I was getting it out, setting it up, putting it away, and then getting it out, setting it up again in a really small window of time, something happened. I discovered something, an efficiency. And now that 4 minutes is down to 0, and actually opened up a pretty large storage bin in the trailer, made it available for another tool. And it's so simple, you're probably going to go, Ron, I could have figured that out. Well, you probably could have, but I just figured it out. And just in case there's somebody else out there like me, let's go take a look at this. So here's the magic. Bringing it in, I had a couple other things in my hands, and instead of going back and slipping it into its bin where it goes, I set it down on the bench here. And when I came back to look at it, it was sitting here, and the light bulb came on. That was a light bulb moment. I went, what a perfect location to use it. 90% of the time, maybe even greater, when I'm working on the job or in my shop or wherever I'm working, the Smart Woodshop is my mobile tool room. I always make sure that I place it so that I have good access. So it's part of my working. It's not just a tool hauler, I work out of it. So I thought I could just walk over here. All I needed to do was to come up with the mounting. Well, I already had this plate. I don't want to permanently mount it. One is, it could get in my way at some time and I want to be able to move it. Two, there will be times where I'm going to do a lot more work and I want to have it in on the smart bench, so I want it to pop loose. So I just use the system, the same system that I can mount it on any of the benches, anywhere on any of the benches. And of course, the cabinets in the Smart Woodshop don't have the 20mm holes, but I only needed 2. Now, you'll see I actually have 5, but that's because I mounted it where I thought it was going to be perfect, and then I discovered something, and so I drilled another couple of holes. So basically, I'm using these 2 center holes. I've got 6 on this to mount on the bench. I only use 2 at a time. And so I'm going with the, on either side, the center side holes. And I want it to be so that it is flush. The mounting plate is flush with the cabinet. So I drop it on there, line up the holes, use the same power locks that I use to mount it on the bench. And now the jaws are out over the bench so that I can put long stuff in if I need to hang it down When I first mounted it, I had it so that the jaws were a little bit over the bench and it limited the use. Worked for most things, but this gives me full use. And of course, there's no limit in that direction, and it's pretty far in that direction, so I have good use here. And to get it out of my way, out of the aisle when I'm traveling or when I'm just not using it, I rotate it to the right, to my right, and now it doesn't interfere with any of my cubbies. So I have full access to this. It does take up a little bit of this space here, and I use this heavily. This is where, when I'm loading and unloading, I'll dump tools here, bring them in my bag, and just dump them here and then put them away. But I still have pretty good use of it. And if I find that I'm doing something and it really is in my way, then I can go back to get these loose and put it in a bin back there. Although, now that the bin has been freed up, and I have this as not only a place to mount it and use it, but actually it's transportation point, I'll probably grab that cubby and use it for something else. The main reason that I made this video was not really about the vise. Certainly, it's going to be excellent for me. I don't want to haul the thing in and out all the time. It's right there. I can jump on and use it. Makes all kind of sense for my workflow. But really, this is what all of this, the smart wood shop, the smart workbenches, the accessories that go with it, the whole system is about this very thing. Decades of doing things and discovering little efficiencies, workflow things that make it easier to do the job and much more enjoyable. I've said for a long time on this channel to work smart, not hard. The reality is we have to work hard to be successful. There's no way around that. But we can work hard in ways that waste our time, waste our resources, waste our energy, make us less efficient, and reduce our profit margin, whether that be the dollars that we receive or the extra time off that we could be with our families or doing the fun things, the hobbies that we want to do. So working smart is working hard in an efficient manner. And when you work hard in a smart way, it's much more enjoyable. So 1 + 1 = fun. So working fun is the goal. Even though it's a job and we're going out and we're lifting and hauling and moving and planning and all of those things, it should be enjoyable. And little things like not having to lift a heavy vise out, go and set it up to do that one thing. Now I can just come over and do that one thing. If you find these videos helpful and you want me to make more, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you want to build a smart wood shop like this or any of the smart workbenches for yourself, then there's a link to the store in the description of this video down below. And if you like this video, then check this one out right here. Mahalo for hanging out with me in the Smart Wood Shop.